Sonic Adventure 2 is my favorite Sonic game of all time. I think we all know that by now. So I've decided to come and rank every level from the game. Not just the speed levels, all the levels. Now, I tried mixing in some levels because I didn't want all the speed levels just up at the top. With that said, let's just get into it. At number 31, we of course have Mad Space. I'm sure this isn't going to come as a surprise to many of you because Mad Space has become quite infamous for being one of the worst levels in gaming history. I love Sonic Adventure 2, but this level just sucks. First of all, it's just way too confusing. Like, there are many different planets, and since you have to find 3 tiny pieces of emerald, it is really hard to find out where they are. And finally, all the hints you get from hint boxes are scrambled, so you can't even see what they say. That's it. I don't even want to talk about this level anymore. Let's just move on. At number 30, we have Death Chamber. I remember my first time playing through this game, and I reached this level, and I got stuck on it. I just couldn't beat this level. And can you blame me? It's a confusing labyrinth of random desert rooms that give you no indication on where you are. And you have to go through all these random portals, and sometimes there's nothing there. So, how are you meant to know where to go? This level just sucks. Case closed. At number 29, we have Hidden Base, our first mech level. I'm sure you might be thinking, why would you put this level so low? It's nowhere near as bad as some of the other levels in this game. And yeah, maybe that's true. But this level is just really hard. And you could of course say skill issue. But I've been playing this game for a long time, so I don't think that's it. It is impossible for me to beat this level without dying at least once or twice. I have never actually gotten an A rank on this level because it is just that hard. Another reason that contributes to why this stage is so hard is that, look at this, there is quicksand everywhere, and enemies just seem to snipe you out of nowhere. Like, how was I meant to see that coming? But anyway, Hidden Base is a pretty bad level. It's not awful like Mad Space and Death Chamber, but still not my ideal Sonic Adventure 2. At number 28, we have Route 101. Now, at this point in the video, we're reaching a point where these levels aren't exactly bad, more just mediocre. And this point won't last very long. It won't be super long before we get into the real good levels of SA2. But this is the first of the 2 hard-driving levels of this game. And I'm just not a huge fan of these ones. Yeah, they are super charming, and it's pretty funny to look at, but I just never found these super interesting. They're good for a pace breaker, I guess, but nothing more than that. So with that, that's all I have to say on this one. At number 27, we have Route 280. And this level is pretty much the same as the last one, but I prefer this one slightly more. We also get this cool jump near the end, so that makes it better. Number 27, we have Meteor Herd for Knuckles. Now, this level is just fine, okay? It's not great, but it's not bad or anything. Meteor Herd kinda shares a few similarities with Mad Space, although it also doesn't. Listen, this level is nowhere near as bad as that one. But it's not great either, and there's certainly quite a few things they could have done better here. I really dig the space themes for these levels, but I don't know why they have to be so frustrating. The music is a bop though. At number 26, we have Cannon's Core. Now, hear me out. I know that everyone thinks this level is cool and whatnot. And yeah, so do I. The problem is, though, these sections are for some reason really, really hard to complete, especially the mech ones at the beginning. I had to use save states for this level, and I haven't had to do that for any other level in this ranking. So for that reason, it's going down here. Sorry, Cannon's Core. Sand Ocean. Now, the reason I'm putting this level quite low on the list is because that when you first play it, it is hard as hell. So for that reason, I would probably consider putting this even lower. However, this level is a lot more fun when you have the booster. Going at number 25. We have Pumpkin Hill. Now, I actually think this level is pretty good. At this point in the video, we're getting to the levels that are actually quite good. But the problem with this level is it's only good at some points. Like, it seems to be kind of a random problem whether this level is bad or not. So I can't really place it that high for that reason. But still, fine level nonetheless. We have Iron Gate for... at number 23, we have Iron Gates. Ooh, now we're getting into some controversial stuff. Now, I think this level is good. It just has some really tough competition. Pretty much every level from now on will be a really good level. The reason I don't put this one that high is just because it's not that memorable. But I really do love the atmosphere they have in this level. I love the Area 51 look going on around here. I just don't find this level to be that memorable. We have Pyramid Cave, our first speed stage. Now hold up, before you smash that dislike and unsubscribe button, hear me out. I know that people consider this to be like the best level in the game, but there's just something about it that just isn't that fun to me. I really love the first part where you go through all the hoops and you have to gain points. That part I really like. Also not a huge fan of in this level is the timers. They can be super annoying sometimes when you're so close to getting there but you just don't. This level does give you the bounce bracelet though, which is one of the most OP power-ups ever. The thing that annoys me the most about this level though is the constant stop and go with these screws. It is so slow and I just can't stand it. But the final part of this level is what makes me really mad. You see this door here? You have to travel all the way to pretty much the end of the level to get one of those screws to open it. This is just awful. But it is a speed stage, so that's why I ranked it so high. Dry Lagoon, the first level for Rouge. Now, this level is a good level. The only problem with it is that there's just a lot of great levels coming up. Pretty much all the levels we're going to be looking at, I'll have good thoughts on. And there's also the problem that this level feels a bit one-sided to me. One of the best things about these treasure hunting levels is always how every time you play them, you're getting a completely different experience. But with this one, it just feels like I go to the same places to find the same emeralds. And I know that that's not true, but that's just how I feel. This level is still great though, no questions asked. Eternal Engine. Now, I know people love this level, and I do too. Like I said, all the levels from here on out are going to be very good. But this level has one problem. To me, it's just another space level. Nothing really sticks out about this level to me. And also, it's really easy, like seriously. But with all that said, there's really not a whole lot bad with this level. Oh, just a really solid mech level. Crazy Gadget, our second speed stage. Now, this is normally the most common placement for worst Sonic Adventure 2 speed stage. And yeah, it's not the best, but I wouldn't say it's the worst or anything. The problem with this level is that it kind of just lacks a certain amount of creativity. And yeah, I know it has the alternate gravity mechanics, but those just don't work well. At least it's better than Mad Space. But anyway, moving on. We have Final Chase, the first Shadow level. This is probably the least talked about level in terms of Sonic Adventure 2 speed stages. But that doesn't necessarily make it bad. You know what does, though? These gravity tubes. They may look harmless on the surface, but they are so bad. The problem is that they don't work. I mean, seriously, they're so slow to move on, and sometimes when you're on a big cycle of them, you'll just fall off for no reason. That sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it? I think the problem with this is that this too early. This idea could be amazing if it was made in a future game like Shadow Generations, which it was, and that game made these things awesome. But sadly, this is how things turned out. Still, great level nonetheless. We have Prison Lane, the first Tails level, and what a great level this is. It does a very good job of showing you what to expect for the future mech levels in the game, and I just really like the atmosphere here. But the problem it has is a similar problem to Iron Gate. It's not that memorable. This stage doesn't really have any gimmicks or anything like that. And I know that was kind of the point because this is the first level and all that, but still, I think they could have done something here to make it stand out. Anyway, great level. Is Aquatic Mine. I'm sure there's quite a few people who are like, why did you put this so high? This is probably one of the worst levels in the game. And yeah, I know that. But the reason I placed this so high is because this is a treasure hunting level where the gimmick is actually fun and functional. Yeah, crazy, I know. The gimmick in this level is the water switches. You can use them to change the level of the water, and it's really fun to mess around with, and can used in some pretty clever ways to find the emeralds. Anyway, good level, but not a whole lot to say on this one. It's just a really solid treasure hunting stage. Weapons Bed. I know a lot of you will disagree with me on this, but I don't think this stage is a top-tier mech level stage. The stage opens with a whole bunch of robots that you can easily lock onto and gain tons of points. But that makes this stage really easy to get an A rank from. One thing I always liked about the mech levels in this game is that it was not easy to get an A rank on. You had to combo pretty much everything in your sight, and that was sometimes pretty difficult to do. But with this level, I don't really find that. Still, it is a really great level. This stage actually has some solid platforming moments in it, which do seem to be missing from quite a few of the mech levels. Like, look at this. You are jumping over a pit. Anyway, great level. We have Cosmic Wall. Yeah, I understand. This is probably one of the best mech levels in the game. The opening part, where you can just float around everywhere, is such a genuine run and gun. It's one of the best parts of the game. The problem is the following parts. This level is, for some reason, really hard. And I know that for most people it's going to be the final mech level in the game, assuming you play Dark Story second. But still, a mech level should be easy to complete, but hard to master. That's what these levels are all about. This level, though, doesn't really follow that. Still, it is easily a top-tier mech level and definitely one of the greatest in the game. Wild Jungle. This is probably the most beautiful stage in the game. I really like the foggy aesthetic that this level has going for it. So yeah, on that mark, it hits really high. But the problem with this stage is that it's kind of short. You can beat it really quickly. And that's kind of a problem when one of the biggest parts of this level is the giant orange and yellow timer on screen. That will almost never go off because this level is just that safe. So because of that, it's going at number 4. Wild Canyon. This is close to a perfectly crafted treasure hunting level. I'm not sure if that's a hot take or not, but this level is just super fun to play around with. What makes this level good is that it's not hard to find the emerald pieces, but it is hard to find them in a quick time limit. That is what makes this level so amazing. But with that is Wild Canyon for you. Metal Harbor. Now, I know that I said placing Cannon's Core in the bottom 5 of the list would be my most controversial choice, but now I'm starting to rethink that. At its best, this stage is a perfect 10 out of 10 level with barely any problems in it. But there's just something about it that annoys me. The stage feels kind of automated, if you get what I'm saying. There are many parts you'll just be running forward or light dashing, so there's not a whole lot of player input required in this level. Also, the obstacles repeat themselves over and over again, like rolling under these things to get to the lever. You do this over and over again. But one of the best things about this stage is that it is not easy to get an A rank in. You will have to work really hard if you want that A rank. Green Forest. This is pretty much just White Jungle, but better in every way. The music this time is banging. And it actually has some length this time. Who would have thought? This level is just awesome. From all the swinging vines you're on to getting this homing attack chain, even though I just missed it. Doesn't matter. This level is still great. It's Mission Street. We're down to the top 10 now. The reason I put this level so high is because unlike pretty much every other mech level we've seen so far, there's pretty much no problems with this level. Yeah, none. That is a big deal. This level is just a lot of fun. It's exactly how a mech level should be. Only problem is, there's not much you can combo in this level, which makes getting an A rank pretty simple for the most part. But still, great level, just not a whole lot you can combo on. Radical Highway. The name speaks for itself. It's on a highway, and it sure is radical. I really like the whole nighttime city aesthetic going on here. It really matches Shadow, and I'm so glad they did it like this. However, it does kind of suck that a lot of the things from this level are borrowed from Mission Street, and no one seems to notice that. But you can say that for pretty much every Shadow level in the game. Still, perfect level is Security Hall. This is, for most people, this will be the best Rouge level in the game. But for me, there's one or two things that misses the mark on. Yes, the atmosphere here is great. The sense of urgency this level gives you is unlike no other level in the game. It just feels super refreshing to play this level. The problem is that even though the timer gives a great sense of urgency, it's a bit too strict. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've actually lost to this timer quite a few times in the past. But still, it's a great level and it's worth checking out for pretty much everyone. City Escape. I know, this is probably the most iconic level in not just Sonic games, but gaming as a whole. The vibe this level gives off has never been matched in another video game ever, or at least that I've experienced. This level is almost as iconic as Green Hill Zone. And I mean, seriously, there's a reason for that. This is one of the most enjoyable stages ever to come out of gaming. However, there's a lot of these parts where you're just tricking off ramps, and I don't find these parts super interesting. No one could possibly ever make a better first level than this. Case closed. This is Lost Colony. I know for many people, this isn't a very special stage. However, for me, this is one of the best mech levels in the game. You play as Eggman trying to invade the Space Colony Ark and make your way to Shadow. Also, I really like the light and dark gimmick here, of how you have to keep shooting the enemies to make the stage darker or lighter. But still, that's pretty much all I have to say on this level. Perfect 10 out of 10 mech level. At number 3 is Egg Quarters. My god. This isn't just the best treasure hunting level in the game. This is one of the best Sonic levels of all time. You could not possibly explain how perfect the design of this level is. The gimmick is really interesting, but it's also optional. You don't have to do it. The level is also short and sweet, which is what these treasure hunting stages should be. So I'm really glad that they went with that approach fully for this one. Still, absolutely perfect 10 out of 10 level. Case closed. At number 2 is Sky Rail, the highest ranking Shadow stage on the list. This level is just perfection. So many different paths you can take, and the most fun thing in this level to do is trying to find the right route, which is exactly what a Sonic stage should be, even though this is a Shadow stage. I love the rail grinding in this game. It's super fun to mess around with, and at the beginning of levels where they have that huge jump that you just skyrocket off is just the best. Perfect 10 out of 10 level, but it can't beat our number 1 spot today. Oh my god, Final Rush has to be the best stage I've ever played in a video game. I'm not kidding. That is just how good this stage is. First off, it's all about rail grinding. I previously mentioned how much I loved the rail grinding in this game more than any other Sonic game. So that immediately makes it one of the best. But still, so many different paths you can take, so many secrets, so many cool moments. It is just perfection all around. So that's why Final Rush will probably always sit at my number 1 spot for best Sonic level of all time. Well, that sure was a ranking. I really liked doing this number by number style ranking instead of the usual tier list stuff. So if you want to see more of this, please like and subscribe and I'll consider doing this. But for now, goodbye.